All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to tackle a pretty huge idea, one that kind of flips the script on everything we're taught about working and making money. We're talking about a massive shift in thinking, from just being an employee to becoming an owner. So, let's dive in.
Let's just rip the Band-Aid off right away with this quote. Just let that sink in for a second. The source material for this whole explainer, it doesn't pull any punches at all. The argument is pretty blunt. If your goal is real, actual wealth, then the whole idea of just climbing the corporate ladder, it's fundamentally broken.
So that really is the question of the day, isn't it? Is this just some negative, cynical take on the world, or is it a wake-up call? The next few minutes are all about unpacking this, to see if maybe, just maybe, this could be your new reality.
Okay, first up, let's break down what's called the employee trap. This is all about that comfortable story we're told, that a steady job with a good salary is the safest, most secure path to financial success. But we're about to poke some holes in that idea.
Here's that tough love we were talking about. The source material for this points directly at a very specific feeling. Being ambitious, having these huge goals, but you feel like you're just stuck in the mud. You want more for sure, but you're just caught in this cycle of not doing anything about it. Sound familiar at all? And here's the trap, laid out plain and simple. It's this belief that a big salary is the same thing as being wealthy. But it's not. See, as an employee, your income is always tied to your time. And there are only so many hours in a day, right? You eventually hit a ceiling. Real wealth has to be able to grow beyond that.
This whole trap idea, it leads to a much bigger, kind of more intense question, and this section just asks it straight up, are you owned? It's really about figuring out where you actually stand in the grand scheme of the economic system.
So here's the really crucial point. If the main way you make money is by trading your time to somebody else, being a gear in the machine, and you don't own things that make money for you while you sleep, then in a way, you're not really in the driver's seat. You're a component in the system, not an owner of the system.
Now this slide makes it crystal clear. Just look at the two columns. On the left, the owned. You're trading your time for cash, you work inside a system someone else built, and your income has a hard cap. Now look right, the owner. Their assets are doing the work, they actually own the system itself, and because of that, their income is scalable. It can grow and grow. It's two totally different games.
So the big question is, how do you get from the left column to the right one? Well, it all starts upstairs, with a change in how you think. This next part is all about adopting what we'll call the owner mindset. It means your main goal isn't just earning anymore, it's owning. And this is it. This is the whole ballgame right here. Honestly, before you make a single investment or business plan, this mental switch has to flip. You have to start looking at opportunities and asking, how does this help me build ownership, not just what's the salary? But what do we actually mean by owning? It's not some abstract concept, it's concrete stuff. It's owning businesses, whether you start them or invest in them. It's owning assets that grow in value over time, like stocks or property. And hey, it can even be owning a skill that is so rare and valuable, something that can't be easily automated or outsourced, that you basically become a business of one. Okay, so that's the philosophy. That's the big idea. But you're probably thinking, great, but how do I actually do it? Well, that brings us to the most practical part of all this, a simple rule that can be your blueprint for building that ownership. Right. So we're officially moving from the why to the how. The 25, 15, 50, 10 rule isn't just another budgeting trick. It's a system designed to take the money you earn right now and turn it into an engine for buying the very assets we've been talking about. So here's what it looks like at a glance. Half your income, that's for your needs. No surprise there. But look at the other half. It's deliberately split up. Now that 25% slice for high-growth assets, pay close attention to that one. That is the most important piece of this whole puzzle. Let's walk through it real quick. 50% goes to your essentials, rent, bills, food, the non-negotiables. Then 15% goes to safe, steady growth. Think of it as building your foundation. And then there's the big one, that 25%. This is your growth engine. This is where you actively go out and buy or build those high-growth assets. And finally, 10%, that's for you. Spend it on whatever you want completely guilt-free. It's what makes the whole system sustainable. So there you have it. We've talked about the problem, the mindset, and the plan. Now it's about putting it all into motion and turning this stuff from theory into your actual action plan. Remember that feeling we mentioned at the very beginning? That ambitious but lazy person who's stuck? Well, this framework, This rule, it's the antidote to that. It takes away the guesswork. It gives you a clear, simple system to follow every single time money comes in. It breaks you out of that cycle for good.
And really, when you boil it all down, that's the key takeaway. Staying stuck in the same financial spot, that's a choice, even if it's a passive one. But on the flip side, building ownership, that is also a choice, a conscious decision you can make, starting today.
So, I'll leave you with this question. Don't get overwhelmed thinking you have to do everything at once. Just think about the very first step. After hearing all this, what's the one asset you're going to focus on owning first?